Okay, so if you're looking for something sporty, something with performance in the premium compact segment, but you don't want to go overboard with the M3 or the C63, well, right now, BMW and Mercedes has that segment conquered with the M340i as well as the C43. Now, the formula, the recipe of that segment, very simple, a compact premium sedan body style and paired with a 3-liter 6-cylinder engine, turbocharged, 350 to 400 horsepower, and with the security of all-wheel drive. So what this means is that not only do you get performance, you also get all-weather traction. Now, the thing is this though, at this point in time in the used car market, M340i values are still holding very strong at 250, 260,000 ringgit. The C43 has been around for longer and you can get some for below 200,000 ringgit. But what if there's a third alternative? Or rather, I'm actually asking the wrong question. What if you can look at the OG that started this segment in the first place? And I'm of course talking about Audi, who got the ball rolling, who actually was the first with this formula with the original Audi S4 and then the S5. This here is the B9 generation S5, right? So compared to the M340i, compared to the C43, this year is priced at 160,000 ringgit. So it is cheaper than even many C200, C300, 320i, 330i in the used car market. So if you are after some performance, some Gaia, you may want to look at this. Now, but it's not quite fair to compare the S5 against the likes of the C-Class and the 3 Series because those are just normal 3-box sedans. This here is a sportback, almost like a fastback design. And look at this. Got frameless doors, front and back. And you've also got this very, very practical tailgate as well. So the closest thing that this has to a competitor is actually the BMW M340i, which BMW Malaysia actually never officially offered, and I have not seen any grey importers bring those cars. Now, there are of course some M340i coupes, but this one here goes direct against the M340i Grand Coupe, which is the 5-door model. Okay, so now with the tailgate open, you can see that this is a large boot. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head how big is this boot, but I can show you. All right, so I bet you can't sit in your C-Class or 3 Series boot in this kind of comfort. And, you know, it's a nice place. You can actually sit here, have a coffee, read a book. Although most owners, you probably won't use the boot like this. But look, I'm seated here. If I remove this tonneau cover, right? Basically, it's a big enough space to lounge. And not only that, so if I drop the seats, you literally can sit here and enjoy like a nice night out with a girlfriend kind of thing. And you can see from here, this part here is sloping up. Okay, and it's not exactly flat, but it's a seamless surface. So what this means is that when you load a big object in there, like say for example like this, you put a large object in there, it doesn't rock about. And just to show you more bits of practicality, underneath here, there's a space saver spare, and you can see this cable leads to the engine bay, and the battery is tucked away nicely under the space saver spare tire as well. Just put this back. All right. Okay, so I'll close this. All right, so let's check out the interior. And wow, okay, no seat pockets here, but that's fine. Look at the amount of leg room here, and check this out. See, right now I'm 170 centimeters tall, so I've got about Firstly, I've got about 3 fingers of headroom above me, but the best part is this. Look at the angle of the seat. Okay, so it's almost like at this angle, which means that I'm really being supported. My thighs are fantastically supported. The seat cushion goes all the way to the back of my calf. Okay, and I'm leaning at a good angle. So it looks like a single angle, right? It looks like, yeah, it's a single angle. I can't do angle adjustment, but this is a very good long distance sitting position. If let's say if you go to KL Penang, KL JB, this is a fantastic sitting position. We've got armrests here. Wow, no cup holders. I'm surprised. But it's solid. This armrest, the mechanism feels solid. And if you come in here, you can see well, you've got ISOFIX mounts here. All right. Oh, it's all covered. So the ISOFIX cover you have to take out one. All right. And the rear air con vent is here. You've got you don't have temperature control, but you do have, looks like you have fan speed control here, and you've got a 12-volt socket right here. So now let's come to the front. Okay. So this is Audi cabin from what, about 8-10 years ago. And of course, if you compare to today's standards, right, there is a lot of buttons and not a lot of screen, which is somewhat the way we like it. Back then, during when this car was new, this digital instrument cluster here would have been considered new, state of the art, but this is now normal stuff already. Today, all this would have been screen. But having buttons here is something of a real blessing, because this is where Audis are really, really good at. Look at the quality of the buttons here. It's like, you know, every time when I sit in an Audi cabin, right, pressing the buttons itself, it's just such a wonderful action to do. Okay, and you can see, look at this. Here's the temperature control. Just the action of this. Look at the surface here. It's just fantastic. You will not get this level of quality in a Mercedes or a BMW. And these physical buttons here are also touch sensitive as well. Now, this is something that you can find in most BMWs, but you can touch this. As I touch this physical button, the car actually detects that my fingers are on that button ready to press, and it's showing which button it is, right? So this is the whole MMI sequence here. And let me just show you the drive select system. All right, so press here for drive select. You can have efficient, you have comfort, efficiency, auto, dynamic, individual. From here you can see this car, the individual mode, you can set the engine, gearbox, steering, and engine sound. So what this means is that this car has passive suspension, which is the way we like it. All right, steering, of course, very easy to adjust, because nowadays all electric power steering, you can just adjust the motor's assistance levels. Engine, gearbox also very easy, just a matter of tuning. So overall, I would say this cabin, the quality of this cabin, it's just a lovely place to be in. And people are saying that Audis have not changed much since the days of the B7 and the B8. And there's some point to it, right? People feel that Audi has not really moved the times, but for people like us, enthusiasts like us, these are the kind of cabins that make us go wow, that make us go, man, these guys, they put in the effort. I mean, look at the 12-volt socket. Look at this. Which other car maker gives you a 12-volt socket, like a plug like this? So in terms of the arrangement of this cabin here, got 2 cup holders here. This is the MMI shortcut unit. And the positioning of the gear lever here also, it's actually just nicely placed. Okay, so my hands, when I move, it's all in a very natural position as well, position of the power windows as well. So all the controls are pretty well laid out. Actually, it's all laid out in a very logical fashion. I don't have to adjust my hands in very awkward angles. Even the radio here, everything here is all within easy reach. So underneath here, you've got 2 USB ports. You've got a shallow but well-sized compartment to put your things in. All right, so nice, very nice environment here to be in. All right, so let's dive under the car. Most of the undercarriage is covered, but I can show you under here, okay? So you can see that is the front left drive shaft. Observe the length of the drive shaft, right? There's a lot of suspension arms here, and you can see the arms are aluminum. So the magnet, this torchlight here is a magnet. So I put here, it sticks. But here, it does not. Okay, and I come over to this side. Look at this. All right, the right drive shaft is of the same length as the left side. So the left and right drive shafts are of equal length. And you come here looking at the rear. So you can see the rear drive shaft comes out from the transmission here. Okay, and it goes all the way back. It's mounted above the exhaust to the rear diff. And you can see once again, the left and right drive shafts are of equal length. That ensures balanced left and right power delivery between the left and right wheels on all sides. Okay, so here we have the 3-liter V6 that powers the S5. Now, unlike the supercharged engine in the B8 model, the B9 here goes back to an old-fashioned turbocharged engine. And you can see from here, if you look at it here, right, this is the engine bay. The engine is here. The engine ends around here, all right, as you can see. All right, so the engine ends around here, just in front of the front axle. So the gearbox is somewhere there, and then the drive shaft comes out and sends power to the front wheels. So battery is mounted at the back, and so here are the terminals, positive and negative if in case you need a jump start. Here's the air box for air intake to come in. So you can see the way it's designed, right? Air goes in from the grill into here and then come back this way, goes into the engine. Right here is the ECU that is mounted, well, almost as far away as possible from the engine, and they have put these cooling fins here to minimize the overheating of the ECU. So as you know, electronics are very heat sensitive, and yet at the same time, because they put the ECU in the engine bay where it's hot, they have to design these fins here to help the ECU cool itself as well as they can. Nobody there, right? Can't do 0 to 100, but the takeoff of the engine is really, it is a very, and it's, this car has been with us for a couple of months now, okay? It has not moved as much because the owner wants to sell it, but you know, the engine still feels like, you know, it's ready for action, okay? And what my teammate has told me is that the owner has spent nearly 30,000 ringgit in repairs recently. So whoever that buys this car, you are getting something that, you know, the owner has already done a lot of refreshing work recently. So basically what it means is that you don't have to worry about a lot of heavy repairs lah. All right. Now, this is the most critical part of the testing. So I'm going over the speed bump area. And okay, there is some slight, very, very slight knocking from the front suspension, but it's barely audible. Barely audible at all. Overall, this car still feels fantastic, and the way the engine, you know, it feels punchy. Now, of course, I've also had experience driving the supercharged B8 generation S4 and S5, and I will say this: the supercharged engine, right, from the previous generation, is more immediate. It's more immediate in its response, but by today's standards, what the turbocharged engine gives you is that it gives you better fuel economy, okay? And it gives you also and it also gives you the same kind of punch once the turbo kicks in. All right. And the thing with supercharging versus turbocharging is supercharging gives you immediate response, but you sacrifice a bit at the top end.
Turbocharging, on the other hand, you have to wait for the turbo to spool up a bit, but once it goes, it goes. And in our experience, turbocharging 3 liter is the sweet spot because you have the natural grunt of the 3 liter engine, but at the same time, once the car goes, right? And what we found is that when it comes to turbocharged engines, 3 liters is really the sweet spot because you see, with smaller engines, right, turbocharging, yeah, you have that lag, and there is that, the lag is very, very obvious. Now, it's not to say that when you drive a 3 liter engine, there is no lag. 3 liter turbo, it's not to say there's no lag. There is still lag. But during that phase, when it is lagging, the natural grunt of the 3 liter engine helps push you along. So what it means that there is this engine's natural strength to get you going, and by the time the turbo kicks in, it gives you that additional boost, right? Compared to a really small capacity turbo, what it does is that there's nothing, and suddenly when the turbo kicks in, off you go.
Okay, so if you are looking for a premium compact executive car, right, and you're looking all the 3 Series or the C Class or too common for the price of a used 320i or C200, you get yourself a segment higher. Basically, this is a 4 Series Grand Coupe competitor, 3 liter V6 engine, all-wheel drive traction. So what you get is that not only do you get performance, usable day-to-day performance, you get all-weather traction as well. So this is a car that not only it gets you places fast and in almost any weather condition at all. All right, so I would say that the Audi S5, if you are looking for something different for a C-Class or 3 Series, definitely you want to check this car out. All right, so if you're interested to have a look or view this car, fill in the form in the description section below and my team will be in touch. And of course, if you are looking to sell your car and you would like to get back at least 85 to 90% of your market value, also fill in the same form in the description section below. My team will be in touch. I'll see you in my next video.